Today, I just had something delivered from eBay. This is my very first smartphone. I daily drove it from 2017 to 2018, and I haven't used it since. So today I'm going to relive what this phone was like to use, and you're coming along for the ride. Made by Huawei. It has a single 3 megapixel camera with no flashlight. No selfie camera, so that made video calls kind of hard. A very large 4-inch display, which I actually don't mind. It made it feel a bit more cozy to use. 3 touch sensitive buttons, back, home, and a context menu. It has volume dial on the side. And a micro USB charging port, which is for some reason out the side. This is the only phone I've ever owned that has had a charging port on the side. I put the SD card in the phone because I have been using it for about a week, just to sort of get a feel for how it was and what it's like using one in today's day and age. But I haven't used it very thoroughly yet, so why don't I do that now? Powered by Android. Drag to unlock, yeah, not slide to unlock. Either can go to the camera straight away, which can take some glorious photos. Look at that glorious photo! Or we can just unlock it normally. The UI is pretty simple, favorites dock down there, and just all your apps here. It's got a drop down menu as well, pretty standard. No SIM card detected. Yeah, no, I'm not putting a SIM card in this. I always like to check the specs of a phone that I use. Oh, that scrolling was very smooth. It's a Huawei Ascend Y330U01 dual-core processor. A whopping 4 gigs of storage. This phone came out in 2014. 4 gigs of storage was pretty small back then. Android 4.2.2 and Emotion UI, which is the skin that Huawei phones usually have. Android 4.2.2 Jelly Bean. The most damning spec of all, in my opinion, is that it only has 512 megabytes of RAM. That means multitasking on this thing is quite hard. I'm starting to think that maybe even they knew that 512 megabytes of RAM probably wasn't enough for this. Because you have an optimization thing here that apparently does stuff. It even says exactly how much RAM is being used right here. So you can constantly monitor it and close everything. Because again, multitasking is hard on this. It's also a little bit slow when you first turn it on, but once it loads everything in the background, it's actually quite good. Got a weather widget here, and a pretty modern looking Google widget. This is what it probably would have looked like if none of the apps had been updated on this. I'm pretty sure I updated the Google search on this, which also updated this widget, so that's cool. I want to see if it actually works, because I've not used it. It does! Wow! Yeah, you can rot your brain on a small 4-inch display. Call me a bit of a narcissist, but I'm going to search up oh no. Oh, I remember this keyboard being really hard to type on. JakeCeption. No. Oh my god. Ception. Oh my god. A channel. I wonder who it belongs to. Look, you can actually browse my channel and see all my terrible videos. Even YouTube videos themselves play pretty decently on this. Now the resolution's only 360p, but you're watching it on a 4-inch display, so it doesn't matter. See? You can still do YouTube, and I actually quite like this form factor. It makes it really easy to hold in your hand and hide from teachers. I do want to put some games on here, and I'm probably going to try and install the games that I had on this back in the day, if I can remember. But there's some things I've not tried out on this phone yet, so I'm gonna look. We have themes. Yes, I do remember it had 4 themes to pick from. I currently have it on Taste, but the default one was Breeze, and I always kept it on this one. And I'm going to pick that one. There we go, it's a bit more colourful now. I know I've showed what photos look like on this, but let's see what videos look like. Who knows, maybe it will become the new camera. Yeah, that's right, screw this camera up here. Yeah, it's me! The real life JakeCeption! He's real, I swear. You can see. That's right, get a load of this VGA quality. I know, right? It's amazing. I'm gonna use it as my main camera. Okay, jokes aside, that camera is not very good. But this was a budget phone from 2014, so you know what? I guess it kinda works. We've got a music app as well, and I have actually been using this as like an iPod Touch. The internal storage is very small, again, only 4 GB, so slipping in a 32 gig SD card with all the music on it helps a lot. I remember listening to music on this a lot when I used to daily drive this, and the speaker is not very good. Now I know all phone speakers are not exactly great, but this one was awful. Mainly because, yeah, that's your speaker. Yeah, the earpiece speaker doubles as the main speaker. You can imagine how this would go. I want to play this song, but I'm gonna have to talk over it. Oh no, I need to talk over it because copyright. Gosh, I feel like DangPods there. A lot of the other apps don't really work anymore though. We have outdated Google Maps. I probably could update it, but I'd probably still have to sign in with a Google account, and I don't want to do that on here. We have email. I don't really send emails anymore, unless I really need to. Like, if someone emails me, then I guess I'll email them back. We have a clock, pretty standard. It can go really, really, really high. It can go that high, in fact. Ow, my finger. We got a calendar, a file manager, phone manager, the optimization thing because the RAM is so slow and small, a weather calculator, notes, which kind of looks like old iOS 6 notes, if you remember that, but without the yellow notepad. Oh, we have a sound recorder as well. I wonder what the microphone sounds like.
Hawaii or something, or Hawaii. I know someone who pronounced it as Huawei.
You gonna keep going?
And some other person
Oh, okay.
called it Huawei.
Beautiful! It had SIM toolkit. I can't use that because I don't really want to put a SIM card in this. And it has an FM radio as well. That's something that even my more modern phone doesn't have because it doesn't have a headphone jack. And you need to plug earphones into this and it would use that as the antenna. We have a whole folder dedicated to Google, which is something that they still do to this day. Hangouts. And we have top apps. Nothing too interesting in here, except for wireless input device. I would try it with a mouse, but I actually don't have a wireless mouse that's functional. However, I do have a wireless keyboard that's functional. 2009 Apple, it still works, I swear. See, I told you. And on the last page we have backup. I think we all know what that does. And 2 toxic companies. Yes, we have 4 things on the favorites dock, but they're pretty standard. No, I'm not going to prank call anyone, because I'm not immature. We have the contacts, the messages, and the Google Play Store, which I also tried to update. I have tried to sign in on this, not with my personal Google account, but with a new one, and it still doesn't work. So I've got a better way to get apps on this thing. I'm going to connect it to my computer, and I'm going to try and find compatible apps for this thing. I'm mainly going to try and see if I can find apps that I had on this thing when I used to use it as my daily driver. Okay, I have now put some games on here. I guess we'll start with the Minecrafts. Oh my god! Minecraft Pocket Edition. Whoa, these controls are cramped. Wow, Minecraft is not very good on here. Look, I can barely move forward. Wow, I'm finally moving forwards. Whoa, this is not very responsive. Look at it. Yeah, it doesn't control the best. But we can have maximum field of view. This is a really small screen. We want to be able to see as much as possible. It does feel like it's running a bit better, so we have that, I guess. But the controls are still not very good, even when I make them bigger. So basically, I get nothing from that. I get a barely larger control pad with less hotbar slots. Perfect. I'm gonna see if I can try and play this a little bit differently. Oh, it works! Yes! But as I said, I don't have a mouse to use with it, so I'm gonna have to do it like this. Yeah! You know, funny thing is, this is actually better. I'm gonna leave the keyboard out, because I want to see if I can play Geometry Dash with it. I want to try and beat at least one level. So I'm gonna be a wuss and do press start. I guess I'll have to just play it normally. I give up. Also, it might be hard to tell, but this touchscreen is not quite as responsive as a modern phone. I had to push so hard for those jumps to register, which is not really good for a game like Geometry Dash. I guess the last game we'll try is Sonic CD. Oh no! It detected that I'm a dirty pirate. I think I've kind of had enough of playing games on this anyway, because I don't think it's that great. But that kind of wraps up this phone as a whole. It's pretty decent now, and it was okay when I used to daily drive it. I mean, it was my first phone, I was pretty grateful to have it. But overall, a pretty contemporary phone from 2014. But there is one more thing I need to show. You can remove the battery! My modern phone can't do that, which is what's recording this video, so I think I'm gonna get rid of it now. Actually, there was one more thing I wanted to note. This phone's lock sound sounds eerily similar to my 2nd gen iPad. Just listen. Okay, now I can get rid of this phone in favour of this.